Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in today. This is First and Vaughan. You know this show is bomb. Jakob's out here dabbing like he's Cam Newton. He's reporting on the NFL. He's the #1 analyst. He's speaking facts and haters can't handle it. But the real animal is RJ. When he has the camera, you know it's a party. He be filming and shooting, making these reels like a movie, editing scenes. He's the greatest cameraman, you can't refute it. Oh, this is First and Vaughan. Oh, this is First and Vaughan. Oh, this is First and Vaughan. This is First and Vaughan. This is First and Vaughan, you know.
Jacob can't be with us this week. Guess that means you won't know who to start in your fantasy leagues.
RJ, what are you doing? We have a show to record.
I'm just trying to get them in the Halloween spirit, man.
My bad. I feel that. Happy early Halloween, everyone. Welcome to First and Vaughan. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday night, October 26, 2016. RJ's got the heater on. It's cold outside. I'm ready to recap Week 7 of the NFL. I am your host and football analyst and announcer, Jakob Vaughan, and behind the camera, we have our producer, editor, and filmer, RJ Thomas. This is a weekly show, and we'll get better each and every week. In our lineup today, we have for you all, currently trending, Jacob's Pick 6, my POTW, my POTR, the Elite, Fantasy Visions, and 30 Seconds in the Pocket. Let's get started on recapping Week 7 of the NFL. But before we do, we have our own kind of trick-or-treat here at First and Vaughan. Kind of like when you go up to somebody's door, you say trick-or-treat, and they hand you a piece of candy. Well, hey, you make a tweet about First and Vaughan, we hand you a follow. So one tweet about First and Vaughan equals a follow from First and Vaughan. Keep spreading the word. Currently training from Week 7 in NFL, former Texans and Dolphins running back Arian Foster retired Monday night after all of his injuries started mounting up and taking a toll on him. The Philadelphia Eagles handed the only remaining undefeated team, the 5-0 Minnesota Vikings, their first L of the year. New York Jets quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick called out the Jets and their head coach for doubting him. Fitzpatrick was benched this past week, but was given an opportunity as Geno Smith was injured in the second quarter, and Fitzpatrick led the Jets to a W. Fitzpatrick after the game said, "I think I should start every week." The NFL is full of athletes. Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver AJ Green made a one-handed juggling catch this weekend on a Hail Mary throw from quarterback Andy Dalton. People are calling it the play of the year. Really, people? It was against the Cleveland Browns, of all teams. The Cleveland Browns. New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski tied the Patriots franchise record with 68 touchdowns. After the game, the reporters asked him about his feelings on his achievements. He said, "One more and I have 69. Rob Gronkowski, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, if you're going to pee on the NFL sideline, please get a buddy to help you cover up. There are cameras everywhere, and if you don't get a buddy, you will end up on Come On Man and on First and Vaughan. Now we move on to Jacob's Pick 6. Here we go. I'm ready to take this recap of the top 6 stories from Week 7 all the way to the house. Yeah. It's a leg. There we go. It looks like Aaron Rodgers watched First and Vaughan last week and saw that I told him he needed to relax after he threw 3 touchdowns and got the victory over the Bears on Thursday Night Football. Indianapolis Colts kicker Adam Vinatieri is automatic, the GOAT of field goal kicking. He has now made 43 consecutive field goals. That's an NFL record. The Chargers, they finally showed that they can play in the fourth quarter after being down 20-30 and overcoming the 10-point deficit to beat the Falcons 33-30 in overtime. That's an upset for sure. 4 NFL teams wore unique uniforms this week. The Atlanta Falcons and Miami Dolphins, they wore their uniforms from the 1960s. The Philadelphia Eagles wore all black along with their black and pink end zones in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football wore their all-gray alternative uniforms. That game was so bad, it was good, ending in a tie ball game. Jeremy and Gabe, your Atlanta Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan, now has the most consecutive games with 200-plus passing yards. At 46 games, he passed the Hall of Famer Dan Fouts, who had 45 games. He played for the San Diego Chargers. New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady is off to an incredible start in 2016. After being suspended for the first 4 games of the season, he has 1,004 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, along with his 3-0 record. POTW, my player of the week. His success this week carried him up to my POTW after being my POTR last week. Miami Dolphins running back Jay Ajayi He became the 4th player to total 200 plus rushing yards in consecutive games. This week he rushed for 214 yards and had a rushing touchdown. Make sure to go vote in our fan poll this week. Vote to tell us what player you think should be the player of the week. The fan poll can be found on our First and Vaughan Twitter page. Here are the results from last week's fan poll. POTR, my player on the rise. Green Bay Packers wide receiver, or should I say running back? It doesn't matter, this guy can do both. Ty Montgomery. He has totaled 164 receiving yards and 66 rushing yards in the past 2 weeks. Ty is a big part of the Packers offense. He could be a player to watch out on your fantasy football team. The Elite. Time to figure out if your favorite team can crack my
Top five.
list and be considered elite. Here are my top 5 teams going into their Week 8 matchup. And at number 5, we have the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys have been impressive and play the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football, which I'm considering to be the game of the week. It should be a great matchup. And in my number 4 spot, I have the Oakland Raiders. Yes, the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders' offense has been great. Their defense, not so much. But they will get the job done in Week 8. Now going into my top 3 teams. The Seattle Seahawks. After going on the road and leaving with a tie game in Arizona, the Seahawks will face the weak defense of the New Orleans Saints this week. Moving down the list at number 2, I went with the New England Patriots. I say the Patriots are now the team to beat in the NFL with Big Ben being out in Pittsburgh. And now my number 1 team. Going into their Week 8 matchup is the Minnesota Vikings. After losing to the Eagles, they face the disappointing Bears and will get back on track against the Bears. And on this Halloween special this week, we have Fantasy Visions. It's what I like to call my visions on the upcoming week in fantasy football. I'm going to offer my advice and say add a few, drop a few, start and sit these 2. Jameis Winston had himself a week, and I hope you all watched and listened to First and Vaughan last week and will continue to do so. Helping the viewers of fantasy football is one of my favorite parts of the show. Let's see if I can keep it up with being spot on, starting with you need to add these 2 players. Green Bay Packers wide receiver Davante Adams. After catching anything Rodgers threw his way, he is my top ad of the week after having 2 reception touchdowns and 132 receiving yards. He's only owned in 8.1% of NFL.com's fantasy leagues. Now my second ad of the week. Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Cole Beasley. Beasley will not give you crazy great numbers to win in your game, but he will put up a consistent 7 to 10 points every game. With his lowest point total this year being 6.50 points, he is only owned in 36.4 of NFL.com's fantasy league. Now here's who to drop this week from your fantasy team, starting with Philadelphia Eagles tight end Zach Ertz. He's only played in 4 games this year and has not seen the amount of targets he did last year. His highest scoring game so far this year is a lousy 5.80 points, and that was all the way back in week 1. He is owned in 76.9%, but that number will go down after you all drop him this week after watching First and Vaughan. My second drop of the week, Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Allen Robinson. You all are probably like, what? Jacob, did you see what he did last year? He's the number 1 guy for the Jaguars. Well, he isn't producing this year, everyone, like he should be. You should drop him with no regrets. Jacob, who do I start this week, you may ask? After having 2 weeks of over 10 points, you need to start Washington Redskins wide receiver Jamison Crowder. I told y'all to add him 2 episodes ago, and now it's time to start Crowder. Also, beware, it is time to start Kansas City Chiefs running back Spencer Ware. Spencer is making it look like he can carry the Chiefs offense for years to come without Jamal Charles in the picture. His past 2 weeks have been phenomenal, 22.30 points and 19.10 points. Up next, I have who should keep the bench warm on your fantasy team. Green Bay Packers wide receiver Jordy Nelson. He has disappeared from the Packers game plan and it's really surprising to see him not be productive. Sit him this week until he can prove to us that he is a starter in fantasy football. And my second player that needs to sit out and hand some candy in week 8 is Denver Broncos running back CJ Anderson. The last time they played the Chargers was in week 6 on Thursday Night Football. He had 37 rushing yards. That's unacceptable. I will answer any questions you have about your fantasy football team this week. 30 seconds in the pocket. RJ, give me 30 seconds on the clock. It's time to go rapid fire in the pocket and give our viewers my take on some subjects going in this upcoming week 8. Seriously, RJ? Again?
Jacob, when do you think Tom Brady will throw his first interception of the season?
Tom Brady, at age 39, missed the first 4 games of the season, and the way he's executing this year is amazing. He is something special for sure. 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, he's making a case to be the NFL MVP. Looking at their schedule upcoming weeks, this answer might surprise our Patriots fans and Joey Balcom, Eli Jennings, and Mr. Miller. I say Tom Brady throws an interception against their rival opponent this week in the Buffalo Bills.
Who do you think will win the NFC East this year?
Wow, RJ, what a question. I'm an Eagles fan, and I know a lot of people that are Redskins fans, from the Miffletons, some of the Vaughns, Hunter Bonton, Tyler Williams, Austin Stewart, and our very own RJ Thomas. So I know I'll be getting a lot of, why ain't you pick the Redskins? HTTR, come on, Jacob. Well, you guys, this pains me to say, but the Redskins will not repeat. The Wintzwagon will not carry the Eagles to the NFC East Championship. It will be Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. They're playing on a whole new level this year. I cannot believe I just said that.
Who do you have making it to the Super Bowl and who wins?
At the beginning of the season, I would have said the Packers versus the Steelers. We're almost at the halfway mark of the NFL season now. Some teams are doing what we thought they would be doing. Others are like, what are you doing? I say it'll be a long, tough fought run to the Super Bowl. And the 2 teams that I know can make it there with no injuries and continue to play at the high level that they always do, the Seahawks versus the Patriots. So far, the Patriots have looked unstoppable. They will win Super Bowl 51. Thank you for watching episode 5 of First and Vaughan. Don't be shy, follow us on all of our social media accounts. Give us a like, retweet, comment, or mention. Make sure to use hashtag First and Vaughan. Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube page. We are thankful for all the support and continue to please spread the word about First and Vaughan. We hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Be sure to check us out every Wednesday night. RJ and I will try to do better next week. Remember, 1 tweet about First and Vaughan equals a follow from First and Vaughan, our way of having a little trick or treat here at First and Vaughan. You can even share the show on Facebook. Make sure to check out Nathan Wheeler's and our very own Sam Fleming's new project they've been working on. We hope everyone has a great week 8 in the NFL. Have a safe and fun Halloween, everyone. Sam Fleming, close us out.
This is First and Vaughan, this is First and Vaughan, this is First and Vaughan, you know. Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in today.